So what is your goal in baseball? Are you looking for more playing time in high school, get a college scholarship, or is it your goal to play in the major leagues? Now, goals are important, but the key is to know how you plan on reaching your goal. Hi, my name is Doug Bernier, former Major League infielder who played with 5 organizations over 16 professional seasons. My path to the major leagues was unique. I wanted to share with you how I was able to stand out or get an opportunity to play in college and professionally when countless more talented players got overlooked. I was not drafted. I was never a prospect. I didn't start a minor league opening day until year 10. So how did I stick around so long? How did I make it to the major leagues? An average size, average hitting baseball player isn't supposed to play in the major leagues. The path to my goal was formed out of necessity. It started when I was in junior college. Our team was stacked, and the only position that didn't have a returning player was shortstop. Becoming the starting shortstop was my opportunity for regular playing time, to get better and also get one step closer to my larger goal, which was playing in the major leagues. I didn't realize how powerful this path was until I finished playing. So after 16 years of playing, I became a scout. This was the best thing that happened to me. I wish I knew what scouts thought before I started playing. Once I learned what evaluators were actually looking for, it made me realize the plan that I stumbled into was actually a pretty good path to get my foot in the door. Most of us baseball players just want an opportunity. We put in a bunch of work and we just want a chance to prove that we can play. The tough reality is that most of us won't get that opportunity. So what do? What is the plan? Now, as a scout, I got well acquainted with the 5 tools, and you most likely know these: speed, arm strength, hit for average, hit for power, and defense. Now, players get noticed by their tools, and one thing I learned as a scout is you don't need to be polished or a finished product. You just need to be elite in at least one tool, so you can get your foot in the door and have that opportunity to show that you can play. In junior college, one of our relief pitchers that we rarely ever used was drafted in the 5th round. He was our highest drafted teammate. He had trouble throwing strikes, but he threw hard. And even though I was happy for him, I didn't quite understand at the time why he would be drafted if he wasn't effective in junior college. The reason? He had an elite tool: arm strength. Do you ever get frustrated because you've put up very good numbers, or you're a productive player and it seems like you often get overlooked? Why does the tall, athletic kid seem to get every opportunity when he hits 200 every year, swings and misses a lot, but has quick hands? The answer? He has tools. I've had difficult conversations every year with players and their parents about why they're not getting opportunities at the next level when they are good baseball players. The reason: they are average in every area and don't stand out in one. Is this unfair? Possibly. But knowing what scouts and coaches are looking for can help you prepare a little differently, which has the potential to increase your stock as a player. So let's go through the tools. First tool is speed. Now, I hate to break it to you, but elite world-class speed is something you are mostly born with. Yes, you can absolutely get faster through intentional practice, but you are going to remain in your genetic parameters. You aren't going from a 7.4 60 to a 6 flat 60. It just isn't going to happen. So that tool we need to cross off, because that one needs more than just practice to become elite. Second is arm strength. Great tool, but it's a complementary tool for position players. If you don't hit or play defense, you might end up on the mound as a pitcher. Now, since we're still trying to remain a position player, let's cross that one off too. So now we have 3 tools left: the hit tool, hitting for average and for power, and defense. Now, there's no denying that hitting is the most important skill and tool that you can have as a baseball player. But putting all your eggs in this basket can have some unintended negative results. After my senior year in high school, the best hitter in our area went to play baseball at a Division I baseball powerhouse. His first month, he struggled offensively, which is no surprise, since the jump from high school to a top-end D1 school is really big. Now, with the college win-now attitude and often coaches roll with the hot hand, the head coach's only option was to put him on the bench. Now, with most hitters, you need at-bats to get comfortable to the new level. And he was unfortunately never given that opportunity. Halfway through his sophomore season, he quit. He wasn't playing and he lost his passion for the game. Now, this is just one story, and I've seen this happen with many individuals that were much better than me, from high school all the way up through pro ball. But at the end of the day, they weren't versatile enough as a player to stay in the lineup when their bat was scuffling. The hitting side of the mountain is a very crowded path. It's very difficult to separate yourself from others when you are trying to out-hit everyone else and get noticed. Now, the defensive side of the mountain is a little less crowded. In high school, I took a wrong turn and ended up on this path. This was the best wrong turn I ever made. And once I got to college, I quickly found out that the most trusted defenders are on the field to finish games. These players are trusted by the coaches. Being on the field, logging innings allowed me to get regular at-bats that helped me become a better hitter. I was hitting in the 2 or 3 slot in college, but once I got to pro ball, I was hitting in the 8 or 9 slot very, very often. But hitting in the 8 or 9 slot is much better than hitting 10th. Now, in pro ball, I stuck around for 16 years because of my glove. My defense kept me around long enough until my bat finally came around. It was easier to stand out in a good way defensively because most people spend so much time working on their swing that they neglect their defense. Now, this really stuck out to me as a scout. A player's value to run production is huge. Some put runs on the board, some players take away runs from the opposing team. So in a nutshell, the best way to separate yourself defensively is to not let infield mechanics strip away your athleticism. Elite infielders are more consistent and more confident while showcasing a smoothness or fluidity that stands out in a positive way. If you perform fielding actions that work at the major league level, you will have very little trouble moving from one level to the next. Most infielders will struggle when the speed of the game gets faster because many have to unlearn bad habits and quickly learn good habits that will help them when balls are hit harder and runners are faster down the line. Now, proper habits are not difficult, and they can be learned by infielders as young as 8 years old. But the issue is that most coaches don't teach fielding mechanics that will help you at the next level. That is because they were taught the standard mechanical fielding methods themselves. As a sophomore in high school, all I heard up to that point was get around the ball, field the ball out front, keep your feet moving, charge the ball, get in front of the ball, catch the ball with 2 hands. Now, these are common coaching phrases that have good intentions, but all players interpret these phrases differently. Some infielders will actually get worse and create bad habits following these seemingly good coaching cues. Now, the key here is knowing what type of infielder you are. Now, I'm not asking if you're a shortstop or a first baseman. Knowing what type of infielder you are is the first step to knowing how you are going to climb the defensive side of the mountain. Understanding your strengths and weaknesses will not only help you have a more focused practice, but it will allow you to fix your own fielding problems or slumps. Now, these happen on the defensive side too. Now, even if you have a good coach and he usually fixes you, eventually you will not be playing for him and you will be leaning on another coach to fix you that may or may not know what they are talking about. You need to take responsibility for your own fielding and feel confident that what you are doing is correct. Now, progress happens when you know what you are doing is correct and you are able to keep improving your craft no matter if you move up to a new level or you are playing on a new team with a new coach. If you have to make mechanical changes every year to your fielding or hitting for that matter, you will always be tinkering and never mastering. So what is my next step? So when I do a one-on-one lesson for the first time, I hit ground balls and observe. I will also ask you a few questions that help me understand who you are as an infielder, so we can not only focus on your areas of strength and weakness, but also be able to teach you in a way that is more directed for you. That is why I put together this free quiz that helps you and me identify your infield type. This is your first step to taking action and letting your defense help you stand out amongst the crowd. Take this 60-second quiz and I will send you a report that will go into detail of your fielding type. I will also send you one of my favorite drills that you can use right away that is specific to your fielding type. So go ahead, click the button, take the quiz, and I will see you on the other side.